Hi, my name is May. I am 28 years old. I work as a math teacher at the university, while my husband, Johnny, is a policeman. We have 2 daughters named Maya and Susie. Maya is 8 years old, while Susie is only 4. Due to transportation difficulties, we have decided to move to a place near the school. The house that we found looked nice. There weren't any damages, and the landlady is very sweet. She gave us a quick tour of the house, assuring us that the house was perfect for us to live in. She showed us that the house has an attic and told us that we could put our extra stuff here. I noticed a bed that seemed like a child's bed, and next to it are a couple of boxes. I asked the landlady if anyone had lived in this house before us, and she replied no. So I asked who owned these things. She said they bought too much stuff for the house and decided to dump the extras in the attic. Overall, the house was perfect, and the place is super convenient since it's near the place where we work. My husband and I both agreed to move in, and my daughters were super happy about it. I noticed that Maya had already met a new friend, and she asked for my permission if she could go out and play with her. I allowed her since I wanted her to have fun in our new home. While we were cleaning, I suddenly realized that Susie was not with us. I asked Johnny where Susie was, and he told me that she was in her room playing. I went to check on Susie, and I found her facing the blank wall of the room, talking, as if she was talking with someone. I asked her who she was talking with, and she replied,
"My new friend, Billy."
I was confused at first, but Johnny told me that it was just Susie's strong imagination, and just ignore it. Weeks later, my family was already comfortable in our new home. We were having our supper when I noticed Maya was not touching her meal. I asked her what was wrong. She said her friends keep telling her that someone died in our new house. I looked at Susie. I fear that she might get scared. I quickly said that those were just made-up stories to scare her, and she should not believe them. Maya looked at me and asked,
"What if it's true?"
It's not true, so stop it.
This time, Johnny stopped her. I looked at Johnny, and it seems like we share the same thoughts. We didn't want Susie to get scared. Time has passed, and it's 1 a.m. My whole family was sleeping, but I was awakened by the sound of footsteps running outside our bedroom. It sounded like 2 people were running. I looked at Johnny, and he was already awake. He told me he heard it too. I thought it was only our daughters, so I went to grab my phone and opened an app that allows us to connect to our CCTV cameras. I checked the cameras of the girls, and I only saw Maya sleeping while Susie was not in her bed. I opened the cameras outside our room. I felt like my heart dropped when I saw Susie facing the camera and talking. I increased the volume to listen to what she was saying. She was whispering, and the way she was talking was like she was having a real conversation and was receiving replies. But we didn't hear anyone but her. I looked at my husband.
Someone's with her.
He grabbed his gun and rushed out. My husband dashed to the living room, and we saw Susie facing nothing. I rushed to Susie and asked her who she was talking to. She replied,
"I was talking with Billy."
We tried to forget about what happened that night. But one day Maya came to me, telling me that there was something wrong with Susie. She often sees her talking to herself in the middle of the night, and she finds it very disturbing. So I decided to take Susie to a psychiatrist, but the doctor said she didn't show any signs of mental illness and advised me that having an imaginary friend is a healthy form of childhood play. I felt bad for assuming that my daughter was sick. Months passed after the incident, and Johnny and I finally moved on and never brought it up again. We ignore Susie's behavior by making ourselves busy, and I also advised Maya to play along and just ignore her little sister's pretentious play. And she did, and everything went back to normal again. Not until one night. It was 9 p.m. and I was busy with work, grading my student's essay on my laptop, when I noticed in my peripheral vision someone peeking from the girl's bedroom, staring at me. I thought it was Susie or Maya. But when I looked at it, I felt chills run down my spine when I saw an unfamiliar face smiling at me and quickly hiding back inside. I had goosebumps. I thought, who the hell was that? And whoever it is, it's in my daughter's bedroom. I grabbed my phone, texted my husband about what I saw and told him to come home quickly. While texting, I saw it again in my peripheral vision. I didn't want to look at it again, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. So I looked again, but this time I only saw the forehead. I gathered enough courage and charged into my daughter's bedroom, but when I finally entered the room, I found both of my daughters sleeping and saw nobody. Johnny arrived, catching his breath and saying he ran home after he read my text. I told him what I saw and asked him to move out. Johnny agreed and said he couldn't bear to see his family terrified. We explained everything to the landlady, and she was sad about us leaving. She apologized to us and told us the truth. She said we weren't the first to live in this house. She told us that the first couple to rent this house had a sick child who never woke up one day. His name was Bill. The two couples left, leaving their child's deathbed in the attic along with his belongings. I was shocked. Johnny was mad and asked why she lied to us. She apologized and said she didn't know that the boy's spirit was not at peace. I couldn't believe to what I have just heard. All this time, Susie's imaginary friend was the spirit of the boy who died in this house. We left the house for good. We left our things and carried nothing, because I fear that the ghost might attach itself to something and follow us to where we were going. Susie woke up. I apologized to her for not waking her up and told her we found a bigger house to live in. I know she feels sad since she won't be seeing her imaginary friend anymore, which is a good thing. She looked around and laughed. She was happy. I was relieved. I asked her if she was excited. She looked at me and replied,
We're so excited to see our new home.
Where? I was confused. You mean you and Maya? I asked. She laughed and replied,
No, me and Billy.
I was shocked and I felt like I was about to throw up when I suddenly realized Billy attached itself to my daughter.